In this video we're going to look at basic formulas that you can use in Excel, and we'll start with adding. If I'm adding just two numbers together, in this example here in cell B5 I want to add cost A and cost B, I could go equals the first cell, the first number B3, plus the next one. That's fine for two numbers. Even for three perhaps, equals the first number plus the second number plus the third. When we've got a list of numbers, prices, costs, whatever, this becomes a bit more problematic. So if I was to do this way, equals the first number plus the next plus the next, this is now taking me quite a bit of time. It's quite faffy. Alright, press enter. We have the same answer, that's fine. However, look what happens if we were to insert another row and add in another cost here. Look what happens to the total cost. Nothing. It hasn't picked up that extra cell. So that is not the best way of adding when you have a range, a list of numbers. The best thing to do is to use the Autosum function. The Autosum function sits up here in the top right hand corner in your Home tab, up along here, and in fact there's quite a few things you can do from this area. If I click on the drop down triangle there, you can see there's quite a few things we can do very quickly from this function. So if I'm looking to add up the sales revenue for the year, I'm going to click where I want the answer. Straight on top of the Autosum button, it will then show me the formula. It will circle the range from E3 to E14, which is what I want. Happy with that, I can just press enter. Or I could highlight the numbers I want to add, then click on the Autosum. It will do the same thing. Doesn't matter how you do it. If you were typing in the formula from scratch, you'd have to type in equals and then sum. As you do it, Excel is picking up various functions. You'll see them all there beginning with SUM. I can open my bracket. It is then looking for a range of numbers which I can highlight myself. I can close a bracket. You don't have to, you just press return, but that's what the full formula looks like, and then press enter. But the quickest way, where do I want the answer? Click on the Autosum, check it's highlighting what I want, press enter. To copy your formula along, you can click on the cell where you have already put the formula in. Take your white cross, turn it into a thin black cross like that at the very bottom right hand corner, left click with your mouse, drag along, and there the formula updates automatically across the range of cells. Same for average. I'm now moving on to the second tab, the average tab, exactly the same thing. This time I want to find the average of these numbers. Where do I want the answer? In my case in cell C15, up to the Autosum. To the right of the Autosum, click on it, average, formula comes in automatically, press enter, highlight the numbers if you want. To the right of the Autosum, click on average, done it for you. Alright, so very easy to get average using the sort of Autosum button. Same for counting. Now you can count numbers and actually you can count dates from the same area. So if I want to count these numbers, these invoice numbers, I'm going to go up here, count numbers. You'll see the formula is equals count, open bracket, from B2 down to B16, press enter. I could count dates. Alright, so same thing, count numbers, although it's dates. Now look what's happened here. Excel is not quite sure where to go, and it's now highlighting, in this case, B17 to D17. That makes no sense. So I'm going to have to manually go up to my top date, and I'm going to copy that down. And there it's worked. Now, if I was to try and do the same with this information in column H, so here again it's fictitious invoice numbers, it's a combination of letters and numbers. I'll go back up to count numbers. Again, I'll have to manually tell Excel what I'm looking to count and press enter, and you'll see it hasn't counted 15, it's showing 0 because there's a combination of letters and numbers. So I'm just going to move on to the count range for a couple of minutes, then we're going to go back up to this function up top here. countA is a formula you can use that essentially the A think of it this way, counts anything. So it will count if it sees anything. It doesn't matter if it's numbers, letters, ticks, whatever. The countA will pick up everything contained within a cell. So if I go, in this case, into cell B16, I'll start typing in equals. I'm going to start typing in the word count, and you'll see the count we used in the last sheet is there, but countA is also there. I'm just going to double click on that, and it's setting me up to count everything that's in this range of cells. Press enter. There's 13. Same here, we've got customer names and a few blanks. Equals countA. There it is there, and I'm just going to highlight everything, including the blank cells, and it will return back to me, in this case, 11 customers. Although these are numbers, you can do the same thing. countA. There it is there. And then, so countA will work for counting numbers as well as the count function. And here I've put in some symbols, some ticks. It will work on that as well. So equals countA. There it is there. Alright, and then I can highlight the range. So that is the countA function, and the next slide you'll see is countBlank. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It will count the blank cells from a range. So my example here of holiday bookings, and there's a few empty spaces, a few empty weeks. Click on the cell C15, how many weeks are not booked, equals, I'm going to start typing count. You'll see countBlank appears here, third down, double click, and then highlight the range, and it'll tell me there's 4 weeks that have not been booked, 4 blank cells. Same here, fictitious training course, I can see we've got 3 spaces left. I can show that with a formula, equals countBlank. Doesn't matter if we're choosing the first name or the last name, it's the range of cells. So from our list we have 3 spaces available. Last example is looking at, let's look at unpaid invoices, countBlank, highlight, and there you have it. Now back on to our functions up here from the funny E is what I call up the top here. Moving on to the next sheet, max, min. This is just picking out max, the maximum, the highest value, min, minimum, lowest value. So looking here for sales revenue, I want to pick out the highest value from this list. I'm going to click in cell C15. I'm going to go to the right of the symbol. Max will bring up the maximum. There's the formula, equals max, open bracket, C3 to C14. Press enter, and it has brought back return. It's November, it's got the highest sales revenue. You do the same for minimum, and here's something to watch as well when you do this. I'm going to click on minimum. Now look carefully, Excel has actually picked up right down to December, and it's also just picked up the maximum figure that we've just pulled out. We don't want that, that's gone down too far. So I'm just going to just copy it again down, just this time to December, down to C14, and click on enter. So clicking on max, checking it's highlighting the range you want. If it is, press enter. Click on min. Alright, copy over without row 10, so up to F9, and press enter. And again, if you were typing the formula in for full, equals max, Excel picks up on it, and then you can highlight the range of cells that way, and then we can copy across and seem to pick up the minimum, min, highlight the correct range, and then copy across. Now moving on to the multiplying sheet, there's no fast, quick button to press here. You do have to just do it manually. So in the example here, I've got product 1, £3.44, sold 34, so I'm multiplying £3.44 times 34. Click where you want the answer, equals, I'm going to click on the price each in B2. I'm going to use the asterisk, which is Shift and F8, or you'll see it on the right of your keyboard, the wee star, and then click on the next cell, which is number sold, so it's equals B2 star, which is times C2, press enter. There's my answer. I can then copy that down. Alright, next example in I2, equals the cost times the number bought. And another wee trick actually is if you don't want to have to click and drag, if you have the formula in the first cell, and you'll see here there's a wee green square, if you can hover your mouse over to there and then just double click quickly, that is another way of copying the formula down very quickly, which is excellent if you've got a really long list of data. Just a last example here for multiplying. In cell N2, click on equals, click on the hourly rate, Jenny gets £7.70 an hour, times the number of hours worked in cell M2, so it's equals L2 times M2, press enter, there's the answer, double click, and it's copied the formula the whole way down. Similar with subtract, so I'm now moving on to my subtract sheet along the bottom, taking the price and the cost, so the profit will be the price minus the cost. It's the dash we use for subtracting, so equals the price minus with the dash. You'll see that in the example below where you find the dash on your keyboard, and then click in this case on the cost, which is in cell C2. So the formula equals B2 the price minus C2 the cost. You only have to do it once. Go back up to the cell where you put the formula in, double click or click and drag, and there it's done for you. Another example, we've got equals, we've got price here minus discount here, enter, up we go, double click, that's it. And then here's some payments, equals the pay due, L2 minus the tax, in cell M2, press enter and copy that down. So that is how you do subtracting. And then just moving on to dividing, and the divide, it's the forward slash is what you need for dividing. So in this case here, 10 divided by 2 in cell D3 equals, I'll click on the 10 in A3 forward slash the 2. So the formula in this case, 10 divided by 2 equals A3 forward slash C3. Alright, so equals the first number, A5 forward slash the second. There's a few wee ones you can practice with. Or an example over here on the right, let's say we have an annual salary. How much are they due per month? Well, there's 12 months in the year, so the formula you would do is equals, click in this case on the annual salary in I3 forward slash, and I'm manually typing in 12 because I know there's 12 months in the year. That is another way of demonstrating the divide function there. I'm moving along, you'll see 3 dots here. There's quite a few tabs along here, so I'm going to click on the 3 dots. Alright, by the way, if you click on the plus, it will give you a new sheet. The dots takes you along. You may have 2 sheets, so in this example here I've got sales revenue for year 5. I've totaled it up, it's 9,262, which is in cell B14, and I want that information, the total, to be shown here where I've got summaries for all my years. So I want to link these sheets together. I'm not going to copy and paste here. I actually need to bring that information across to link it together. So in cell C6, I'm going to click on equals, just have it sitting there. I'm then going to go back and click on the other sheet where the information is contained. Click on there, and I want to add this particular cell B14, and look at the formula. It's saying equals link 1. That's what I call the sheet, and it's taking B14 from link 1 into link 2, and just press return, and there you have it. So that's linked from the other sheet. So if we were to change something in the first sheet, I'll make it a ridiculously high number there, and I look into my second sheet, it's automatically updated it. So please don't copy and paste. You have to link with an equal symbol and then click on the cell you want to link it to. There's a few other things to practice in this resource. There's a practice here sheet, and then there's also a couple of invoices here that you can start using all the various formulas to work out an invoice, including multiplying, subtraction, adding, etc. So that's just something else for you to practice. Hope that helps.